Hey, what's going on, my hungry friends? Today is your lucky day. Why? Because Rolo is going to make his signature dish, okay? This is the moment we've all been waiting for, right? You guys wanted farm raised. You guys want deliciousness. You want creaminess. You want luscious. This is gonna be it. It's going to be my ultimate 5-cheese mac and cheese. Let's make it. Okay, so check this out, folks. Even though this is your lucky day, right? We're gonna start off very simple. We're gonna start off making our roux, which is gonna then turn into our cheese sauce, okay? So what we're gonna do is we're gonna start our grill at medium-high heat, okay? And the purpose of starting this pot at medium-high heat is because we're gonna melt down some butter and then we're gonna add in our flour, thus creating our roux. It's very similar, it's very simple, very simple, okay folks? So don't get it twisted, it's not hard, and if you have any questions, please comment in the box below and I can show you how to make this roux. It's gonna be fantastic. But during the course of this instruction, I really want you to follow and see the consistency that's being done inside this pot, okay? So as this is coming up, the temp, it's almost there, we're gonna add in our butter. I love butter. I'm not from France. I'm not French by no means, okay? I'm not from France. It's France, right? Okay, so, but regardless, we're gonna be throwing in a lot of butter into this thing, and the amounts that I'm showing you today are gonna be in the description below, okay? So, we're gonna take some butter, and as you can see, it's already melting down. We're going to throw in about 1.5 cups or so. Okay. About another 20 more seconds or so, and we're going to start adding in our flour. Now, look at the consistency of the butter. Okay, it's not bubbling. It's at a, you see a little bit of the frying of it, but you don't want to go any more than this, okay? So now we're going to go ahead and incorporate our flour. So, get a couple of teaspoons of flour, give it a stir, and what it's going to do is going to start clumping up, okay? And this is what's called making our roux. Now we're going to go ahead and drop it down to medium heat because we were on medium-high heat. Always pay attention to your temperatures, folks. Very key. Very important. Okay? Yeah. So take a look. So this is not the consistency I want. I want to add some more flour, okay? Okay, so as you can see here, friends, look at the butter. Look how it's starting to thicken up. That agent of the flour is making it like a mush type of butter. Look how thick this is getting. This thickening agent is amazing when you start adding the flour. I don't know how to describe it, like applesauce kind of texture. But look at that, amazing. Continue to whisk our butter sauce, but now we're gonna add in the next ingredient, which is our warm milk, okay? So what I have before you is I warmed up a little bit of the milk, okay? And this is gonna start the process of making our cheese sauce, okay? Now I gotta tell you, this right here is the key to my signature dish. We want this creamy. We want it very smooth. We don't want it clumpy, okay? Too thick is not good. It's kind of like chewing on some glue or some paste. We don't want that, okay? We want this as very silk and smooth as possible, all right? So, but go ahead and look. So look at the texture, amazing. Make sure all of that milk, okay, this is regular milk, is blended into your butter sauce. Get another one in here. All right. Now, before we combine the cheese, let me please explain to you the cheese that I will be using today. But do note, you can use any cheese combination that you wish. The 5 cheeses that I'm using today is we're going to go with White Cheddar, we're going to go with Sharp Cheddar, we're going to go with Gruyère, And we're also going to go with a really, really nutty flavor of Gouda, okay? It's not smoked, just regular Gouda, but you're going to get the smokiness and the texture from the smoker today, okay? So as this is kind of thickening up here, we're going to add in a couple more ladles, and then we're going to go ahead and start adding in our cheese sauce, all right? And look at this. Woo-wee! This is looking good, folks. It's becoming really, really smooth. Okay, that's the texture that I want. We're going to go ahead and we're going to start adding in our cheeses, okay? And let me tell you, when you add in all these ingredients, ensure that you still have a little bit of milk on the side because it's going to get really, really thick, okay? We're going to start in our white cheddar, okay? Okay, then we're also going to add in our sharp cheddar. And this recipe is going to call for about 6 to 8 cups of cheese total, okay? We're going to blend that in. And remember, while you're blending this stuff in as well, is you want to incorporate all the cheeses a little bit at a time, okay? Obviously, we got 5 different cheeses going into this thing, okay? And if you notice that it's making it really hard for you to stir this thing, just add a little bit more milk. Not a big deal, right? Look at that creaminess there. And now we're about to add in our Gruyère cheese and our Gouda. Look at that. Some Gouda and Gruyère cheese. This is going to be one cheesy dish, folks. And this is the reason why I call it my ultimate 5-cheese mac and cheese. All right, go ahead and take a look at this consistency. Now, as you can see, it's really, 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 really thick, okay? But that's okay, folks, because we're gonna thin it out just a little bit more. Unfortunately, I do not have an immersion blender here today, but that's okay. We're gonna make this as silky and smooth as we can. And this will take about 10 minutes or so to get it down to the consistency that we want. Now that we added the 4 cheeses to this, we're gonna add in our Parmesan Reggiano, okay? Freshly grated. And I gotta tell you, when I'm doing these types of ingredients and I want the best for my household, I want to ensure that I'm, again, not buying it right out of the pack, okay? Please, if you guys are doing this at home, please shred this yourself, okay? Okay, folks, look at this. Amazing. This is the consistency we want. Look how smooth that texture is. That consistency is amazing. This is exactly what we want. Now, before we incorporate this into our noodles, first I want to tell you that you can use any type of pasta you want. Traditionally, we're going to go with our elbow noodles, and that's what we have here, okay? And the reason why I'm using that, it gives it an amazing look to it when we're finished. But before we do that, we're going to add in one more step before we incorporate our cheese sauce, okay? So I freshly grinded up some nutmeg. Okay. And lo and behold, some people will add in any kind of pepper. For the sake of this dish and the dish that I'm making today, which is my signature, we're going to be adding in our white pepper, okay? Make sure it's grounded very finely. Don't have any thick spots in it. Some people that are chefs who have died previously will roll in their graves, okay? Okay, so again, ground white pepper. And all fresh ingredients, again, I can't reiterate that enough. And I'm also going to add in some white truffle oil. Okay. All right, just a splash, folks. Okay, so look at the texture, folks. This is ready to be integrated with our elbow noodles, okay? But look at this. Perfect. And that's okay. The thinner, it's okay. But if it's too thick, we're not going to want that. We don't want that paste-like texture. It's kind of like, you know, a 3-year-old eating some glue. We're not 3 years old here. But look at that. Amazing, folks. All right. So now we're going to throw it into our elbow noodles. Okay, now that we ladled in some of our cheese sauce, we're gonna give it a nice stir. Make sure we have enough or too much. But as I can see, it's still a little dry, so we're gonna add a lot more into this thing here. Probably about 4 more ladles. Okay, just a little bit more. So now that we have this about ready to go, look how thin and consistent this is. And the reason why you want it thin, because it will thicken up in the heat source. Okay, so let's go ahead and put this in our dish here. Look at that, amazing, right? I'm smelling all flavors at every angle. Okay. As I'm flattening the cheese sauce down a little bit, you can see that the noodles are sticking up. We want to ensure that it's even with the liquid. Okay, so just a little bit more and we are ready to rock and roll, guys. Okay. Look at that. So now, look at this, folks. This is almost ready to be thrown in the smoker. But before I do, I had made some Panko breadcrumbs. Typically, you could just throw it on there. I like to smooth it out and make it thinner, okay? And that's the reason why I threw this in the blender. So when I'm looking at this, I'm just going to take our breadcrumbs. We're going to put it all over the top of our mac and cheese. Look at that. Amazing, beautiful. And the purpose of putting breadcrumbs on the top of this cheese sauce is to give it that crisp at the very top. Okay, so smooth it out because we have one more ingredient going on the top of this and we are putting some fire on it. Okay, all right, last but not least, Parmesan Reggiano. We're going to add that to the top as well. Okay, now that we have prepared our 5 cheese mac and cheese, let's go ahead and get this on the smoker, okay? Okay, so now that we have it on our smoker, we're gonna go ahead and crank our temps up to about 350 degrees. There you go. We're gonna get this up to 350 degrees. And this is going to set in the smoker for 25 minutes to 35 minutes. I'll see you soon. Okay, so now our 5 cheese mac and cheese has been on the smoker for about 45 minutes or so. Let's go ahead and pull it out and see what we're looking at here, okay? You guys like my mittens? Oh yeah, this is ready to go. I'm gonna pull this out. And it's still bubbling hot. Okay, so folks, our ultimate 5 cheese mac and cheese just came right out of the smoker, okay? I'm ready to try this. But before I do, we're gonna take a couple spatulas, right? And we wanna get in there. I try not to try to do the corners. It's kind of rough to do that. But let's go ahead and chop it up like so. You can hear that crunch. I'm not sure if you guys can hear it back at home. Okay, here it is. It's okay. We are still safe, folks. We are still saved. Okay, folks, listen, it's almost backyard privilege time, right? So we all know what that means. What's gonna happen is, now I had put the 5 cheese mac and cheese into a nice dish. I'm going to give it a nice little sprinkle of some parsley, right? We all like parsley. And now we're gonna taste it for your pleasure. Now, the reason why I call it the ultimate is for a reason. You can taste the sweet cheeses from Switzerland. You got the Gruyère, you got the Gouda, and then as I'm digging more into this, you got that crunch from the Panko. I'm tasting the white cheddar for sure, and more importantly, I'm definitely tasting the sharp cheddar. Okay, so it's really good. This is my ultimate macaroni and cheese. I definitely want you to try this. And here in my household, every Thanksgiving we have this. This is the staple in our house. Okay, so listen, everyone. I want you guys to make this. If you like this channel, please subscribe, hit the like button, and I'll see you in future videos. Thank you from Hearty Comfort Meals. Rolo signing out. Later, guys.